Welcome to the Dip Dive. Today, we're venturing into some pretty dark territory, looking at the wilderness and the very real fears that can sometimes be waiting out there. We've gathered some firsthand accounts, really unnerving stuff that might make you think twice about that next solo hike.
Yeah, these aren't just stories someone made up around a campfire. These are experiences people claim to have had. Individuals who went into what looked like, peaceful nature spots, only to find something genuinely sinister.
Exactly. It's about those unexpected horrors, the kind that can happen when you're miles from anywhere safe.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're prepared to look at the darker side of exploring the outdoors, let's start this deep dive. These accounts come from a YouTube channel called Mr. Nightmare, known for these kinds of true, chilling stories. Okay, so our first story. It takes us to Utah, the big remote landscapes there. We've got this 31-year-old guy, an experienced hiker. He's looking for some solitude, actually, after a personal betrayal.
All right, trying to clear his head.
Yeah, so he picks the Wasatch-Cache National Forest for a cross-country trip. And he specifically chooses an unnamed area, totally isolated, prefers to be alone.
Yeah.
His goal is a lookout point, maybe a few miles in. About an hour into the hike, though, it starts raining lightly. Apparently, rain's a real pet peeve for him, so he just decides, okay, I'm turning back, heads towards his car.
But that's when things take a dramatic turn, right? When he gets back to the car.
A massive turn. He reaches his vehicle, and it's not just a flat tire or something. All four of his tires have been deliberately slashed.
Wow. All four. That's not random.
No way. It's this horrible moment of realization. Someone was there. Someone waited. And they did this.
That completely shifts everything. It's not about nature anymore. It's a human threat. Malicious.
Totally. So now he's stranded. No phone service out there. He's got to figure out what to do. Walking 20 miles back to town. Too risky, especially with daylight starting to fade.
Right, bad idea.
His only real option, he figures, is to head back towards that summit he was originally hiking to. Maybe, just maybe, he can get a signal up there. So he turns around, goes back into the woods. He knows he has to risk it.
Mm-hmm.
He gets about halfway back up, and the whole feeling changes. The air just feels thick with dread, he says. Then he hears it, a faint rustling sound, maybe 40 yards behind him.
Oh, man.
And it starts and stops whenever he starts and stops moving.
Oh, that's classic stalking. The psychological part of that must be intense.
He picks up the pace, right? Tries not to look back. The sun's starting to set now, casting these long, creepy shadows.
Yeah, that shift you mentioned earlier, from just being annoyed by rain to suddenly being certain you're being hunted. That isolation he wanted, now it's his biggest weakness. The fear isn't just physical, it's that total loss of control.
He pushes on, finally makes it to the peak. And somehow, a miracle. He gets serviced just enough. He calls the police, reports the tires, tells them he thinks someone's stalking him.
Okay, good. Help is theoretically on the way.
Theoretically. But the worst part isn't over. He still has to get back down to his car, in the fading light, knowing someone or something is back there.
That walk back must have been agony.
He decides not to take the direct path back, figuring that's too obvious. He goes for a kind of semicircular route. Things are quiet for a bit. He thinks maybe he lost them.
Hoof creeping in.
Then the sounds start again. A twig snaps off to his left, then another snap directly behind him, and that's when this cold dread hits him even harder. It's not just one person.
Oh, yeah.
He realizes there have to be multiple people out there.
I see, that changes the game entirely. Multiple pursuers implies organization. It's not just one random creep. It suggests a group with a clear purpose, which is way more terrifying. Why target him like this?
Exactly, and it gets worse. He's moving through the woods trying to be quiet, and he stumbles upon a makeshift campsite. Get this, 12 logs arranged in a circle around a campfire pit. And the fire looks like it was used recently.
12 logs. Wow. That's specific. Almost ritualistic.
His panic level just spikes, 5 to 10, instantly. Then, just moments later, he sees movement. Just a glimpse, a foot disappearing behind a tree off to his right.
They're close.
That's it. He doesn't care about noise anymore. He just breaks into a full-on sprint. Escape is all that matters. And the sounds of the people behind him get louder. They're not even trying to hide now. They're just coming for him.
Just chasing him down.
He risks a quick look over his shoulder. He sees at least 6 people, and they're all wearing white, charging right at him.
6 people in white.
Yeah.
Okay, this is getting seriously cult-like.
The next few minutes, he says, were the most terrifying of his entire life. Just pure adrenaline and fear. Finally, through the trees, he sees his car. And right behind it, flashing lights, a police officer.
Thank God.
He just collapses practically at the officer's feet. Safe. He looks back. The people in white are gone.
Yeah.
Vanished. And then the officer tells him something pretty chilling. He says, Utah has a large Mormon population, and in these unmarked remote forests, it's not unheard of to run into groups sometimes called woods folk or even woods cults.
Woods folk.
Yeah.
That's unsettling context. It's just these aren't just random attackers, but maybe an established territorial group.
Right. The hiker, even now, he's still haunted by it. He doesn't understand why. Why slash the tires? Why stalk and chase him? Why not just, tell him to get off their land if that's what it was?
That unanswered why is often the most disturbing part. The lack of clear motive makes it feel even more menacing, more irrational. It's a deep psychological scar.
It really is. Okay, let's shift gears to our next story. This one comes from another really experienced hiker, someone who's done major trails all over America, seeing over 75% of the national parks.
So a pro knows his way around the outdoors.
Definitely. But to keep things interesting, he's got this unusual hobby. He uses Google Maps to find huge unnamed forest areas, places off the beaten path, and he goes exploring.
Okay, seeking out the truly unknown.
Yeah, and he's smart about it, uses these homemade stickers to mark his route so he doesn't get lost, but he removes them on his way out, leave no trace.
Right, responsible exploring, even in uncharted territory.
So his next target is a place called Dudley Town Forest in Connecticut. Now, this place has a reputation. It's basically been abandoned since the 1800s.
Dudley Town. Yeah, I've heard of it. Lots of creepy stories, ghost legends, that sort of thing.
Exactly. It's technically off limits to the public, too, which for this hiker was actually a plus. It meant he was pretty much guaranteed to be alone out there.
It's an interesting contrast, isn't it? This very rational, prepared hiker deliberately choosing a place known for, the irrational and supernatural.
It really is. He goes in around noon. He's expecting it to be eerie, maybe quiet, but he's shocked by just how silent it is, dead silent, absolute stillness.
No birds, no insects, no wind.
Nothing. Just the sound of his own breathing. It's deeply unsettling. He keeps going, placing his marker stickers, trying to shake off this weird feeling, hoping to see any sign of life.
That kind of sensory deprivation can really mess with you. It makes any small thing feel huge.
And just as he's starting to kind of get used to the silence, this sound just shatters it. He describes it as a wailing, moaning sound. Like a wounded animal, maybe.
Ooh. Out of complete silence.
Yeah. It's the only sound in the entire woods. Sends this fresh wave of unease through him. He just can't place it, can't explain it.
That lack of context is key. When you're isolated and deprived of normal sounds, one weird, unexplained noise feels incredibly threatening. Your brain just goes into overdrive trying to figure it out.
He decides to just walk away from the sound. Tells himself, okay, one more creepy thing happens and I'm out of here.
Famous last words sometimes.
Pretty much. He walks a bit further and then he sees it. On a tree, right in front of him. Carvings. But not letters or anything recognizable, just symbols. Random slashes, chunks of bark missing. And it's not just one tree, it's on several trees nearby.
Okay, that's deliberate. That's human intervention. Weird symbols.
Yeah, that's his cue.
That was the final straw for him. He's like, nope, I'm done. He turns around, ready to leave, follows his stickers back. But as he's backtracking, he notices something new near his trail. Looks like maybe a bear's den or some kind of cave entrance.
Uh-oh.
And that's when it hits him. His stickers. The ones he placed carefully at shoulder height. They're now at waist height.
Oh. Someone moved them.
Someone moved his markers, lowered them as if trying to lure him towards that cave.
Oh, that is terrifying. That elevates it immediately. It's not just creepy sounds or symbols anymore. It's active manipulation. Someone is there, watching him, trying to trick him, lead him somewhere specific. That's calculated and malicious. Panic just floods him. He starts running, but now he's totally disoriented without his reliable markers. He's lost. He pulls out his phone, desperately searching for signal. Finds one bar, just enough to locate his car on the map. Then the signal drops again.
Oh man, just enough to know the way, but no way to call for help.
But he has the direction now, he knows which way to run, and that's when the sound starts again, that wailing, moaning sound. But this time, it's twice as loud. And it sounds like it's coming from right behind him.
Chasing him.
He runs faster than he ever thought possible. He said it felt like the worst, longest 10 minutes of his life. Finally, he bursts out of the tree line, reaches the edge of the forest, and the second he's out, the wailing just stops abruptly.
Like flipping a switch.
Yeah. He jumps in his car, speeds off. That experience completely ruined hiking for him. forever. He tries to rationalize it, Thinks maybe it was some hermit, a woods freak using some kind of weird whistle or sound device.
A rational explanation is a way to cope, to regain some sense of control after something so violating.
But even he admits there are holes in that theory. It doesn't quite fit everything.
And that lingering doubt, that uncertainty, that's what sticks with you. When something happens that just fundamentally shakes your understanding of safety and reality, it leaves a mark. Some things defy easy answers.
Absolutely. Okay, one final story. This one goes back to the narrator's childhood. His home actually bordered this big patch of woods, and through the woods there was a dirt road, and beyond that, a reservoir.
Okay, a typical kid hangout spot, sounds like.
Pretty much. It was technically illegal to be there, trespassing. But he and his friends went all the time. They'd even cut holes in the fence over the years to get in easily. It was their spot.
Familiar territory, felt safe despite being off limits.
Exactly. So one evening, he and 4 friends are bored, decide to hike through the woods to the reservoir like they always do. Sun's still out, navigation's easy, just another trip to the reservoir, or so they thought.
That's often how these things start, isn't it? Something routine, familiar, that suddenly turns into something else entirely. The shattering of that perceived safety is powerful.
They get to the reservoir, walk around to the far side. It's kind of large, oval-shaped. And his friend Hassan points across the water. There's this dark figure way off in the distance, near the woods on the other side. Just a figure.
At first, it's slowly coming towards the water's edge, and it looks like it's dragging something heavy. As the figure gets closer, emerges from the woods more clearly, they realize it's dragging a large black garbage bag.
Oh, okay. That's immediately suspicious.
Yeah, their smiles kind of fade. They know the reservoir's reputation. Bodies had been found there before, so they just stand there watching in silence, kind of horrified. The figure reaches the water's edge, kneels down over the bag.
That sinking feeling when you realize what you might be witnessing.
They think, okay, maybe this is their chance to slip away unnoticed while the person is distracted.
But it gets worse, doesn't it?
Way worse.
Okay.
Just then, 3 more figures emerge from the woods. 2 of them are also dragging big black garbage bags. The third one is carrying a kayak.
Oh my God, a kayak. Okay, this is clearly planned. This is disposal. The protagonist just feels sick. He mentions he lived near a town with a lot of crime, wonders if it's gang-related. The first man gets into the kayak. The others help him load one of the heavy bags onto his lap.
Right in front of him.
He paddles out to the middle of the reservoir. They just watch, frozen in horror, as he dumps the bag. It disappears under the water. Then he paddles back, gets the second bag, paddles out, dumps it, comes back, gets the third bag, paddles out, dumps it. 3 bags, 3 trips.
Methodically disposing of what you have to assume are bodies, while these kids watch.
The level of audacity. Or maybe they thought they were completely alone. This highlights how these secluded spots are chosen for exactly this reason, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The isolation that makes it attractive for recreation also makes it attractive for crime. It raises that awful question. How often does this happen? How many dark secrets are hidden just out of sight in places like this?
And then like something straight out of a movie. His phone rings. Loud, annoying ringtone cuts through the dead silence. He fumbles trying to mute it, but it's too late. All 4 men down by the water freeze. They turn, and they look directly across the reservoir right at the kids.
They've been seen.
That's their cue. Run! Just run! Trying to scramble back through the woods in panic mode is incredibly hard, especially knowing they're probably being chased now.
Adrenaline and pure terror.
They're desperately trying to find the hole in the fence they usually use. His friend Rick finally spots it, and just as they're scrambling through, they hear it right behind them, the loud, unmistakable crack of a tree branch being stepped on.
They were right behind them? Inches away, maybe?
They make it into his backyard, completely breathless and terrified. They immediately call the police. The police show up, search the property, and they find them. A set of muddy footprints leading right up to his backyard fence. Footprints that definitely weren't theirs.
Wow. Confirmation.
Yeah.
That validates everything. It wasn't just panic. They were followed right to the house. That's terrifying on a whole other level.
A few days later, the news breaks. The police dragged the reservoir. They found 3 bodies.
3 bodies. Just as they saw.
It was a huge local news story. His whole family lived in fear for months after that. They knew these criminals, whoever they were, now knew where they lived. His mom even swore she saw people lurking in the woods behind their house at night, thought she saw a camera flash once.
That lasting trauma.
Yeah.
The violation of safety, even at home. It's understandable why they'd feel watched.
Yeah, he says this whole incident was the main reason his family eventually moved away. And to this day, apparently, no arrests have ever been made in connection with those bodies.
Unbelievable. No closure. That just leaves this heavy shadow.
He mentions a recent news article about a teenager drowning in that same reservoir brought all the horrifying memories flooding back. He still believes that place is cursed somehow. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? How many other tragedies might have happened there that nobody knows about?
That idea of a place being cursed, it's a way we try to process extreme darkness associated with a location. When justice isn't served, when terrible things happen repeatedly, a place can feel inherently malevolent. It's a heavy legacy for that reservoir.
So these 3 stories, 3 really intense deep dives into the unsettling side of nature. They're a pretty stark reminder, aren't they? The wilderness can be beautiful, sure, but it can also hide some really serious dangers.
Absolutely. Whether it's, unknown groups defending territory, disturbed individuals living off the grid, or just straight up criminal activity like dumping bodies. These accounts really challenge our usual picture of the outdoors.
It forces you to think about that isolation. The very thing people often seek in nature, the peace, the solitude, that can also be what makes you vulnerable.
The human element can be the most unpredictable and, frankly, the most frightening thing you might encounter out there. Far scarier than bears or bad weather sometimes.
Yeah. So what's the takeaway here for you listening? Maybe it makes you think twice about going into really remote, uncharted places alone. Or maybe it just leaves you with that unsettling question. How many other secrets, how many dark stories are hidden out there in the quiet places waiting for someone to stumble upon them?
It's a sobering thought.
We really hope this deep dive into these true unsettling stories was, well, captivating, maybe even a little chilling. It certainly was for us researching them. If you found this interesting and you want more like it, more spine-tingling true stories, please do us a favor. Like this, share it, and subscribe to the Horror Docs channel.
Thank you for joining us on this journey into the unknown. Until next time, please stay safe out there. And just remember, sometimes the most terrifying stories, they're the ones that are actually true.